Right. So welcome to day two. Day two already. Can you believe it?
It
Hello.
goes quick.
It does. Yeah, it's gone really quick. So as Nick was saying, he wanted some type of meditation where you notice your thoughts, but then you go into the next one, and into the next one, and then into the next one. So it's like you're seeing. I would say it as an analogy of a clouds passing by, and it's passing by, so no clouds look exactly the same. So you're actually witnessing and observing the clouds passing by, um, but you remember and not being attached to whatever comes up. So whatever shape, form, or color, it could be gray, blue, different types of blue and white. You just allow it, but then you remember that in your mind. And what good practice is that, writing them down after your meditation each time. Yes, I've actually run a 1 day course which is called Touching Miracles, and it's actually learning um, from our hands to feel each part of our body, and our body actually have body codes, and each part of the body has a message, a hidden message for us, and it's just really, really getting to know what they are. That's not the topic today, but thank you, Nick. If you would like to know more about what I've just mentioned, feel free, because in this 3 day challenge, you do get a chakra healing, a one on one, and you can actually bring out all your questions on our one on one after the 3 day challenge. And yeah, you can bring those questions up, and you can also have your healing and a balancing of the chakras moving forward. You know which one um, you can actually focus on the chakras, or if you'd like a color meditation, I can also do that for you. So yesterday we had our day one. It was very exciting because I've put them all together, and I've seen some patterns. I've been running this 3 day challenge for the whole year, and I've run them about 6 or 7 times, and I put all the data together, and there's always been a common theme. And the common theme amongst us are saying we all want to gain clarity, focus. We want to know our 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 life's purpose, and we want presence, reduce overwhelm. We want to feel unshakable inner peace and calm. Also, practice the habit of being an observer, feeling grounded, counteracting that overactive mind which runs non-stop, and then hence we feel burnt out, and we shut down to ourselves, we hide, we avoid, and in return we shut down to others as well, other people and people that we love, example, our daughter, our partner, children, at work, and nobody can communicate to us because we're just shut down. And whilst we're shut down, we still have this clutter in our heads, and at the same time we really need someone, something to trust, so we can learn, we can open up and actually express everything that we feel without the overwhelm. And we also discussed that the thoughts that comes into our mind comes in loops, so it plays over and over like a tape recorder, over and over, making us feeling small, and then it's all overload, we just feel overloaded. So it first comes when we meet somebody, or when we walk into a room, we work, whatever we're doing. What happens is that all the information comes lined into our mind, our head, but then sometimes our hearts are not open. So when it stays here, it stays all around here, and we're not feeling it in our bodies, and we're not allowing it to be processed, and those emotions and feelings are not, we're not allowing them to come through. This is where we feel so overwhelmed. Okay, so when it comes down to the body, we are already feeling overwhelmed. So the mental chatter comes to in the head, mostly all head space, but the overwhelm is a dire effect from the mental chatter, that it's become too much already to bear, that we are feeling it in our bodies already. So who gets that it comes to the head first and then coming down, and when you feel overwhelmed, it's this tremendous feeling that we feel our our chest feels tightening up, and then it's just so much to bear, and it's just so we couldn't hold anymore, and that's how we sometimes have these breakdowns, right? And
Did you just ask a question, Joy?
sorry.
You just ask a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I like to share. I get a little bit forgetful when I get overwhelmed. Totally forgetful. Like, I mean, sometimes I've gone halfway to the city and tracked back, and I'm late for an appointment or a meeting or an event, and I'm thinking in my mind, I'm so forgetful, thinking, did I leave the stove on? Worst feeling to be
And
driving back in peak hour traffic, and that looping thought that, you
yes.
know, but because of that busyness and the clutterness and mindful chatter, and it just destroys you. I remember being to the last event with you, I had to loop. I was like 20 minutes late because I had to loop back. I was looping, and I was fine. I still came back. Just forgetfulness. We have a clutter. We forget things, and it's not a quality life.
No.
We clear our mind. Such a really brilliant way, wonderful way to live.
So this is where it really makes an impact in your life, which is you're missing out something important that you need to attend to. So what was that you were thinking? Did you catch it, Nick? Did you catch those thoughts when you thought, "Oh my God, I'm late now"? So what were you entertaining in your mind?
Well, I was entertained that I forgot the stove on, the stove and the kitchen. I mean, that's just a
Oh my
weird
God.
feeling, right? Because I've left, because prior experiences, I know I left the stove on the whole day, right?
Yeah.
That was shocking thing to find out, and not just once, a few times. And having that experience and then living with that and having that in my looping mind.
Yeah.
And when I traveled to halfway to the city, then I had to track back, and I couldn't, that looping feeling and that behavior, just I couldn't enjoy or even understand the event. I was kind of, I had to go back. But
Yeah.
so yeah. Clutter, mindfulness, yeah, this clarity thing and this overwhelming of fear that you forgot something
Yes.
vital. That was an important thing, right? So
Yes.
mm,
Yes. Thank you for sharing, Nick.
yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
thank
what
you.
happens when we are so focused with our internal inner dialogue, because we are having chaos inside, that we miss out on the beauty and all the opportunities that we can grab on in our daily lives. We are caught up in our own dramas and we play it over and over again. So if we just allow, like sit down and really contemplate, and we all have the tools here in this 3-day challenge that I'm teaching you every day, that you're implementing. One of them is writing, that breaks the pattern already of that loop. Looking into the bright side, writing your affirmations and your intention daily, magnifying and focusing on those rather than focusing on the things that you cannot control. Would you believe that those things are sometimes beyond your control? We are gonna find out today. Go ahead, Nick. Were you gonna say something?
I'm good. I was just putting up the volume a little bit and bringing you guys close.
All right. Yeah. So thank you. So we can choose differently. As what Desiree put in yesterday, we can choose differently, and we learn how to refocus our mind. Yesterday, I've also asked, what is your biggest takeaway? Um, I did share a few tips and tricks in regards to how to be intimate with yourself, We had a little bit of a meditation towards the end, Catherine, as well. It's just a short one for beginners. It's bite size, but it's actually awakening the senses inside of you and also putting you in a deep relaxation where your ego can actually go at the back and just rest and allow all the information and all the feelings to surface, so that you awaken what's really important, what's priority for you, and leave all the overwhelm while you're being relaxed. Because when you're relaxed, the things that needs to be healed resurfaces. It gives us memories and it triggers us as well. Okay, so hang on a moment. Okay, Catherine, go ahead.
So I watched it. I didn't watch the meditation part of it because I thought we'd be doing that tonight. And as I mentioned yesterday, I find myself falling asleep on meditation. And so I didn't want to fall asleep in the middle of the workday.
Yeah.
So is there a way to overcome that deep relaxation where I just start getting to, theta, delta waves just at my desk?
There's actually no escaping. When the body needs to rest, it will tell you that it needs rest. So don't beat yourself up because you're tired. Because once you have actually quenched the sleepiness and you are no longer sleepy, you will then enjoy the actual meditation. I used to beat myself up. I said, oh, how can I sleep? How can I sleep? I'm so relaxed. But sometimes you're sleeping, but sometimes you think you're sleeping, but you're not, because the facilitator goes, okay, move gently after the meditation. They say, gently move your toes and your hands. And I can hear. And I wake up. So that means it's a different state. And that state, when you're actually entering from the beta, which is we are right now, when you're entering all those states, because it's new to you, right? It's like entering a new room. You're not really quite sure. Is this it? Is this the place? Is this what you call, say, Egypt, or is this America? Like, you don't know. It's been described to you, but you don't know until you actually spend some time in that state where you get to know, okay, so this is alpha state. Okay, all right. So this is theta state, right? I've actually got something. I'll put a content on our Facebook group regarding this, all the states, how our brain wave patterns change whenever we are in meditation. So it's just really familiarizing yourself, and there's no shortcuts to this, because if it's something new, of course, it's gonna feel unfamiliar and a little bit strange, and it's not common to feel that way because it's your first time. But if you get to do that as a practice, and then you notice your own state, your own mind, when you are feeling peaceful. It's like when you're going to bed, your body relax. Sometimes when you fall asleep, and suddenly when you're falling asleep, you go, does that happen to you? Right? Sometimes you go like this, because the body, the soul goes so quick that the body is finding it hard to follow. So there's kind of like a misalignment. That's why sometimes we have go in shocks like that, because it's too fast. So if you just notice, you will soon learn to notice. It takes practice. I cannot tell you the time frame, how quickly, or whether it's 1 week, 1 month, a year. It's all just different with everybody. But put the intention of having a real open self-awareness whenever you are meditating. You may want to put an intention that you really want to feel everything and you want to be conscious. You want to be conscious even though when your eyes are closed. I hope that answered your question. Good. All right, so thank you for those who have done their assignments. I'm quite impressed. Everybody's handwriting them, and I really want to hear from you. I'll just open the questions because I've got them here. Just, it will guide us which page. Okay. All right, so I got them here. So today we're gonna pay attention to our inner dialogue. The more mental chatter, the more we can actually identify them, the better. So can you just share in the chat what are those things that you've caught yourself thinking over and over again? Okay. What are those thoughts that you keep playing in your mind? What are the statements you are telling yourself? You may put it in the chat. Okay, so Catherine says, I'm failing at self-care. So that keeps on looping. Okay. Stephanie says, everything is always working out for me. Okay, that's something positive. Okay, so that if you think of that, you keep on looping that, right? So everything that we think of, every words we say, everything has its own vibrations. It has a vibration. It has a wisdom. When it comes into our mind, we keep looping that because of a habit. It becomes us, and that's what Dr. Dwayne Dwyer mentioned about intention. It's not about what you desire. It's about what you're putting out there that becomes you, because it's you. You attract you the same vibration. Okay, so Catherine says she needs to work on her to-do list. I need to take action. Thank you, Catherine. Sometimes it takes baby steps to do this, especially if you're new to this. So it's a practice. I don't expect you to be like writing an essay immediately, but when you write even a one or two before you go to bed or in the morning, you will also notice how you're feeling. Okay, when you're writing, how you're feeling. Because the writing first thing in the morning is a form of meditation too. That's journaling. Okay, and sometimes when you just allow your hand to do the writing and the flow, that's your intuition. Intuition can strike us at any moment, and it's actually giving us a message. So who believes that can happen? Yes. Okay, so at this stage, we're gonna have a cleanup day. So why are we doing this? Why do we want to know the statements? Why are we breaking down whether they're true or false? Why?
Yeah, question?
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I think because we live in duality, and half the time we are conditioned to be confused because sometimes we say things we don't mean them. And we start to believe those false ones. And when you ask yourself the true question, you're actually in contact with your higher self. The higher self will always tell you the truth, but we don't know how to listen. That was one of my things I wrote down in my statement. I feel sometimes I don't want to listen. I can't listen. I'm preoccupied, distracted with too many things, unclear. And, but yeah, that's why. That's someone.
Yeah, that is true. Our intuition, our higher self is always communicating with us. But when we have the clutter, it can be really messy. We cannot capture the good bits because we have so much clutter. So just imagine you're in a room full of clutter, but you've got very nice ornaments as well. Let's just pretend the really good quality, high quality ornament is your higher self. Sometimes you cannot see the beauty of that ornament when you've got all the mess around it. Okay, so who agrees with that? So what we're doing today in this challenge is actually doing a cleanup day where we're sorting out. So if anyone who's done the rubbish here, the garbage, sorry, for the Americans, the garbage, yes. Okay, again in Australia, I have to give examples of something so simple that everyone will get, right? So here in Australia, we actually sort our rubbish out. We have a green bin, which is a green rubbish bin. We have a red rubbish bin. We have a yellow. Yellow means recyclables. You know, the arrows that go around, circle, that's recyclables that you can reuse. Bottles, plastics, cardboards, all that. We have the red bin, which is totally you cannot recycle. They're just going to the tip to be burnt, or it can't be helped. That the red bin is just rubbish. And the green are leaves from stems from trees, from the grass. So we have the three. In here, we're doing the same. Okay, we're doing the same here. And we're doing the same because we want to keep the good ones. We want to know what's to keep and what's not to keep. And for those that are true statements, we want to challenge ourselves. What are we going to do about those true statements? Okay, what are going to be our next action step? And for the false one, I challenge you what you want to do with the false one. Do you want to throw them in the bin, burn them, put them into the earth? Tell yourself, I'm no longer going to think about this. Just really make a decision from today that you don't want to think about it anymore. And make an anchor whenever you think about it. Maybe hold yourself something or some action that, oops, I caught myself. I replace it with another thought. So instead of thinking that, I'm gonna think, all right, today's gonna be a good day. Something like that, something positive. Like I'm gonna help many people, and I'm gonna connect with many people. I'm gonna open my heart, right? Today's gonna be productive day. It's gonna be great. And whatever that affirmation is, that becomes you. And guess what happens? That you'll attract that.
Yeah.
Because we're all energy. Sorry, Catherine, did you want to say something? Yeah.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
we keep attracting that. Love this analogy. That's what Catherine said, and how it also work on colors and traffic light. Yes, exactly. Yes. And Catherine's, and yeah. So if you want to unmute and share about your assignment, or you can put in the chat what are those statements, if they're true or not, and whatever's easier for you. The floor, this is an open round circle where we can share, and I encourage that, because when you're talking, your body can hear it, and everyone hears your witness. When you are being witnessed and held and heard, it's more likely to happen. Okay, because it became a language, rather than in here, rather than just keeping it here. When you actually express it, it becomes something like a creation. It's a seed, and when you write them, it's the same thing. All right, so I'm gonna go through everybody's assignment. Okay, so I'm reading Kathy's. She's not here. I'd like to acknowledge that some people will be watching the recording. So the people who are not here today, who couldn't make it, they will be watching the recording. So this is Kathy's homework, and she said that she's done the two homeworks, homework 1 and homework 2, but she answered number 2, which was, she always take a moment and breathe, and she's aware that the clutter distracts her, and then she always come back to do the task. There's some statements that she told herself that she's not good enough, and she could still hear her mom's voice telling her that she should be doing this, that, this. So it became like a negative thoughts, which have been with her for the rest of her life. So just imagine your age now, right? And you can still hear your mother's voice. It's still playing. And you can imagine what impact it does to you. Lowers your self-confidence. You feel like you're still a little girl or little boy, that you need to follow instructions and you can't stand up on your own. So these are one of those effects that are still happening. Okay. Okay, Nick's done a very long assignment, but Nick, would you want
Yeah,
mind sharing a
Yeah, I think we better have a run with it, because I was just running, writing real quick.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I'm trying-
Sorry, I couldn't understand you right. I'll be
That's
honest.
just me. That's what I'm all about. So I'm just wondering. But I think, yeah, I've got excited, impulsive actions. I can feel my ego is running rackets a lot with my programs. I've felt that in my life. Everyone's yep. I'm come from a wounded, not good enough, underachiever rather than pleasing to be an achiever. For me, yeah, it's good to sit back and try to discover some of your past and why, even though I'm a high achiever, but I feel like sometimes I'm not good enough, which is interesting. Very good to experience that again and to go into this, as we're all so busy, we get about to analyze, to go deeper. What else? Felt practice observer, nothing. Yeah, it's just nice to be practicing calmness and sitting in this space, even though a million things are running around us, and we just make a lot of things like important, which are not really important at all when you think about there's a whole planet out there, and and we're insignificant in a way that we put a lot of emphasis on stuff, and that stuff's not our stuff; it's just worldly stuff. So we tend to get carried away with that. That's on that page. That was the first question. Now, with the statements, I kind of say to myself, I have so much to offer, but don't know how to get it out there. I'm always, when I'm trying to create new stuff, and I get dragged down by the statements. So much to offer, but I don't know how to get it out there, and that's kind of a blocker, for me. And the thing is, I'm doing so much that I don't give a lot of attention to that one specific thing. Like this weekend was a really good weekend for me because I was able to sit still, and I had a festival to go to, but I chose not to. Instead, I created my own festival with the TV and all health shows and after YouTube, and I realized, wow, I've got everything inside me. I don't have to keep running around, and I've got so much inside me. All I need to do is just practice sitting still and find out what's cluttering me. And this is a really good exercise. What else did I'm struggling. Oh yeah. Just noticed something. I've got two applications running on my phone. They're called Google Search or Google Apps. There's one I can't still work out, and it's kind of upsets me a bit because it's got too many. And again, I need to sit still and work that application. Every time I'm trying to find a location to go and pick up my clients, I'm putting in the details. That one's not working. It kind of flushes. I'm in a bit of a hurry. So I need to spend time with that little application, and it just makes me feel a bit incompetent. I can't even sort that thing out. But the other application I know how to use quite well. But I think it's just needing time to sit still and work that one out and just play with that for a while. What's this one? Yeah, I feel like I need to do some course on empowered listening because I don't even listen to myself sometimes. I just talk a lot when I'm really loose and open, but I feel like I need to listen to myself better so I can listen to others. That's what's looping all the time for me. They say, "Oh, you're not clear. What are you on about?" So again, I've got a very cluttered mind state. A lot of rubbish in there needs to come out. So that's cool. I'm good with that for now. I also have an issue about my bills. oh, it can wait. I'll get around to it. My bills, yeah, I'll pay them when I can. I never get around to them. I keep saying this word and so much sabotage there. Yeah, I'll get around to it. Again, I don't want to sit still just to do that. And as a remedy for me, I remember I was on this Focus Mate group. It's from the States, this particular group, focusmate.com. And you can sit with someone and just tell them, if you've got bill problems and you can't sit still, it's the perfect place to have a buddy system. And that's worked for me. And I remember I think I need to do a lot of that now. And, this has been a good realization for me, this particular course we're doing together here. I've got another one. I have an issue with sleeping. I'm a night owl, meaning that I stay up quite late. The thing that's helping me as a solution is that I get to meditate half days for an hour and rest that way, and then I'm recharged to go. Even if I do fall asleep, and that's what I want sometimes, just to rest into that zone, which you guys talked about earlier. But I always say, what do I say about that? It'll be okay. I can handle it. It'll be okay. I can handle the non-sleep. But that is only fooling myself. I don't have a strict habit of being strict on not strict. That's too hard on myself. You don't want strict anything. I think somehow a keeping habit and with a lot of practice that can help me. I think we get a lot of vitality, more life, quality sleep, and I think we're all sleep deprived. And busy we are with doing things, whether you're a mum, running a business, etc. These things are just busyness, and that kind of carries you out. Not also in a looping, but you just don't want to sleep because you just got to have it. You got a racket going on. Yeah. So that's been a wonderful. These are the sleeping one I can really work with.
Yeah. I
Work.
hear you, Nick. I hear you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
With everything here, what's going on. We do have, this is part of the practice, but at the same time, the self-awareness, because your eyes are already open, you know all this, right? But when you put them into paper, it gives you even more clarity, what you actually need to prioritize, what you need to act on, and how you can actually solve some issues. But there's also some things about cycles, which I can talk to, not in this challenge, but we can in the one-on-one, which are the cycles. We all have cycles, and we honor that cycle. So if you are a night owl, that can work for you in your advantage. Okay, so there's minor adjustments that you can do, because we all have our peak season, where peak time where we can be very productive, but we also have some, we need to rest. We're humans, so we there are times we're very active, and sometimes we're going like that. So noticing your patterns as well is really important, which once you master yourself, which is in self mastery, you are able to be your best version, because you know exactly the time of the day where you're going to do a presentation, a time of the day where you can just sit down and be in a class and absorb, in the day when the best time for you to meditate or the best time for you to exercise. We are all different and unique, and we honor ourselves, our body, our cycles, because nobody is exactly the same. But I've really learned that just recently, about cycles, especially for a lot of empaths, which you are too, Nick. You can be very sensitive to the energies and alignment of the stars or the planets. You are affected. If you're not sleeping and you don't know what it is, we are affected. We are all in one in this bigger picture in the galaxy. We all are, and everything is interrelated. Okay, everything is interrelated. So we get affected. So thank you for sharing. It's a big topic to actually explore more, and maybe create another 3-day challenge for that. All right. So what about Kathy or Kathy?
Sorry, definitely keep the sleeping one open. I would love to explore that in a
Yeah.
group setting.
Yes.
Such a wonderful thing.
Because, yeah,
Mm.
that's right. Because I'm opposite to you. Like I need to sleep at 9, 10. I'm tired. Like, but I wake up at 4, and nobody's awake at 4. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I have to do
Well,
something at 4, and that's my best time to tackle work, and I feel I'm on fire, and I do those things. You're the opposite. At night, you're fiery, but you're forcing yourself to sleep, and it's hard because this is why your thoughts are racing. But if you can actually channel all them, can channel all that and actually work on that, work in your body, because you're channeling and putting that into your work, your creative work, you can make something very creative. But then you may be waking up later in the day when everyone's awake, but that's okay. You have your own clock, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I
you
wonder there's such a word as thanks, Joy, but there's something called the projector. Projector. Human design comes into this. It's called a projector or a generator. So
yes.
we are two different characters, and I just happen to be a projector.
Oh,
More
okay.
visual out picture, we're more creative.
Yeah.
But,
I actually, this is in my program, on my master's program.
wow, cool.
Yeah, about
Nice
human
one.
design and really getting to know who you are. So that's in my course, and that's coming up. I'll let you know more. So, does anybody else here want to share, want to speak, or want to put in the chat how they found the statements, what are true and what are not?
I'll share.
Okay.
All right. Well, like I learned, like, all the negative thoughts, I have them on mute in my head because I know they're not true. Especially the feelings that from our family, how they like to compare us with another cousin or siblings, or they think a psychology would actually help, but they didn't know like the type of person that I am that's actually putting me down. Why can't you be like that person? Why like they, they made me feel like I'm not good enough, but I learned a lot about myself that I know I have a great mind. Like I realized that I was telling my friend, I'm Rain Man. Like I can plan like several events in my head. That's why like my friend told me like you're a best organizer. I can see that you can organize a lot of events here. But the question he asked me like why do you keep falling short? So it's only you. Then I have to ask my question like what's wrong with me that I need to fix? Like why am I falling short? Then I realized like okay, because of how I was raised, that sometimes I second guess myself, like, okay, it's not perfect, it has to be perfect because it's like it's retraining my brain. But then, because we were raised like that, that I forget that, okay, I'm not, I mean, I don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I have to remind myself that because like, because of our grandma, that. So my dad, like why can't you be this? So sometimes like I choose to ignore them, but now I have to tell myself I'm just gonna put you on mute. I put like physical distance from them. Like from Dallas I moved away from them because even though like okay they can still call me, they could still see me, but then the physical distance in my head, like I'm slowly walking away from those negative things that's gonna bring me down. So on my assignments, those are like truth that I need to do, but then I'm making excuses for myself, procrastinating, just like Nick said. Like I try to find an excuse like not to do it, but I know I have to do it. But now I'm like, I'm pushing myself to really need to get up and declutter my mind so I could focus on my goals because it's not just me right now. I have my daughter to think about too. Because like I said yesterday, I can't be there for her if I'm not there for me right now. So that's why I'm here. And that's it for today.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Catherine. And yeah, I get you when parents tell you, oh, why can't you be that person? Like, I think they're coming from a good place where, look at that person, she's a good girl or good boy, or like doing well in class. Why couldn't, like, they want you to be like that, coming from a good heart, but at the same time, they're actually making us more competitive in a
Yeah.
way, competitive, and feel insufficient, like, oh, couldn't be, but not honoring. Maybe there's something that they could have had said, like, how would it take you to be better at school or something like that, or you test, or
Yeah.
to be like that person, but not, can't you be like that? That's just too abrupt and too too
Yeah.
hard. And
I
but
was able, yeah,
yes,
I was able to release that because I've been keeping that inside. So one time my dad and I had an argument, so I released all that. I said, you wanted me to be that person that you forget to. Like I felt like you never took a chance to get to know me and accept me for who I am because I felt like you guys are just waiting and watching for me to fail again. So now when I fail, there you go again. Like um, like going back to uh every time I mess up, they keep reminding you of like haven't you learned from that thing that happened before? So that was then. But the judgment, because that's how I felt. Like you've already judged me for the person that you think that I am, but you never really took chance to really get to know me. Because everybody else think that I'm great, but not you. So, but then after I release that, I let it go. So if I just have to learn to love them from a distance, and it's sad because they're family. But then if it doesn't matter if they're negative, that's gonna bring me down. Then I have to walk away from them, learn to love them from a distance.
yeah, I feel that there's so much hurt. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when parents speak to us this way, they too are only human, remember? And they too may be coming from a place of sorting out their own shit, their own pain. And
Yeah.
sometimes they just, we're the little ones, and they just pour it out on us. And that
Mm-hmm.
happens, and this happens in family dynamics. Okay, so Desiree is saying, yes, Catherine, I agree with what you are saying. I found that a lot of my thoughts are actually not true and come from people that think they are helping, but actually they just make things more stressful, right? For some people, like you, Catherine, or Desiree, sensitive people or empaths, it's really hard to take that in and seeing it in a good light, especially when you're young and your brain has not fully developed yet. Your prefrontal cortex is not developed yet, but you already can feel in your heart. So we are having all these emotions when we are young, but we cannot make sense from here. Then we have memories that are stored in our bodies, and then we take them until we are adults, still running the same statements because we heard them, but we were helpless. We couldn't do much about them because we were only young. But the heart remembers. The heart remembers from the pain. Okay, so you have some healing to do. um, I'm glad that you can actually acknowledge that, and you picked it up while you were doing your homework. And again, it's a journey. Every one of us will have a journey to walk on, a divine path, a unique path to find our own way. So thank you for sharing. Okay, Catherine, did you want to say anything at all? Did you want to share something, or yeah, go ahead.
So what I learned today from doing the homework number 2 is the statements can be categorized, and the to-do list is already in categories. And the distractions, if I eliminate them, obviously will give me more time for my to-dos, but then it can also help me with the categorization of my statements too, and being able to tackle and take time to tackle those invert them where necessary or double down where they are positive and pull them into the to-do list. So being able to categorize, organize allows me to also prioritize where I put my energy and deprioritize where I don't want to put my energy. So that was an epiphany because I started, thought, oh, this, I don't like this sucks. But then at the end I was like, okay, look at this. Okay. So now I've got some more homework to start that categorization, prioritization, deprioritization.
Amazing. Um, that's really good that you've already were able to see that you can actually chunk them down. For our next assignment, we are even gonna chunk them down even more by prioritization. You know, the most urgent tasks, the things that we need to do in order, and the least important but still needs to be done. And then we put a time frame, okay, and then we put a date, because when we put a date, a time frame, then we can actually work on focusing on that date. And when we focus on that date, it's more likely to be ticked, done, delivered. That's what I do. And I can give you a tip as well. Whatever I focus on the day, I put it in my laptop, and I always carry my diary, and I tick. So I do two things. I know it's not overdoing it, and I set the alarm on my phone. Okay, because sometimes like I could be talking to a client and it could go overtime, but then I'll have to go, then the alarm will go off and say, okay, you're to speak to this person now, or you need to do something else. So that's just a reminder. That's just breaking everything down even more, so we know where we want to spend our energy and what's really important, so we don't miss anything. Okay, so now I'm just gonna show you a quick video in regards to Dr. Masaru Emoto in regards to water, because everything that we've spoken about are frequencies, vibrations, and everything affects us. So I'm just gonna turn off the music now, and I'll play this for you. Okay, just 1 second. Okay. Oops. I'm just right. Here we go. Okay, can you see this?
Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you" to one beaker, "You're an idiot" to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black, and the rice that was ignored began to rot. Dr. Emoto thinks that this experiment provides an important lesson, especially with regard to how we treat children. We should take care of them, give them attention, and converse with them. Indifference does the greatest harm.
Tell some dreamy story, but almost.
Okay, so I'm just gonna show another one. This one is from the movie The Bleep, and it's 9 years old.
Toru Emoto from his book, The Message from Water. Mr. Emoto's work provides factual evidence that human vibrational energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affect the molecular structure of water. Please remember that water comprises over 70% of a mature human body and covers the same amount on our planet. Water is the very source of all life. This photo shows the beautifully formed geometric design of the Yushi Spring water. This next photo is from the Shimanto River, the last clean spring in Japan. Notice the extraordinary geometric forms. The fact that the molecular structure of water can be affected by our consciousness, our intent, and our sounds is extremely important. This photo is from the Mount Cook Glacier in New Zealand. Mr. Emoto has been visually documenting these molecular changes in water by means of his photographic techniques. He freezes droplets of water, then examines them under a dark field microscope that has photographic capabilities. His work clearly demonstrates the diversity of the molecular structure of water and the effects of the environment upon the structure of the water. This photo is from the fountain in Lourdes, France. This photo is from contaminated water from the Yodo River in Japan. In this photo, we can compare the contaminated water with clean stream water. Look at the difference. Mr. Emoto decided to see what effects music would have upon the structure of water. He placed distilled water between two speakers for several hours while playing different music and then photographing the crystals that formed after the water was frozen. This photo is of water being exposed to Beethoven's Pastorale. This photo is the effect of Bach's Air for the G string on the water. This photo is water exposed to Chopin's Farewell Song. This next photo is water being exposed and affected to music that was designed for healing. This photo is of water being exposed to the Kawachi folk dance. This photo shows the effect of heavy metal music upon the water.
All right.
Here now we can compare the effects of healing versus heavy metal music and what happens to the water molecules. Mr. Emoto decided to see how thoughts and words affected the formation of untreated distilled.
Okay, I think you got the gist here. Okay, so if you imagine we are like 75% water, Dr. Emoto said in his first research that you should speak to children nicely. Okay, so Catherine, you're right. So that's what happened to rice, the rice experiment. And we bless our food, we bless our water. Can you just imagine the intention? Because intention is like prayer. Even if you don't speak, it's just the intention. It changes form. Can change form. That's miracle. This is why people, for ancient times, they do prayers. They bless their food because it changes the composition of the food. And imagine when you're eating the food, right? They have to have vibrations. So if you're eating a high vibrational food and you're taking it, what happens? What happens on the other flip side? What happens when you're listening to heavy rock and you're drinking contaminated water? Just imagine that you're taking that into. because everything we absorb. Okay, so Catherine just left, that's fine. All right, so now it's 12 o'clock and we're gonna go into our meditation. We're gonna have a 2-minute break and then we're coming back. Everything good? I'll put the music for 2 minutes and we'll meet you here. Okay, did you need more time? Okay, so I've seen your intentions, Nick. Thank you for sending your intention. We can voice out our intention with this meditation. Okay, just pretending we're sitting in a round circle. My intention is for today, my intention, when I woke up, I felt really grateful. It was a beautiful day. I was thankful for my bed and I felt really blessed, but at the same time, I felt a bit tender. Okay. Just like Nick the other day, I couldn't sleep well. I think there's something going on because it wasn't just you and me, Nick. I've been going, like I've said, I've been going to many Zooms and it was like a common theme. People were not sleeping well. But last night I slept better. But I know I need a little bit more rest. So I want to honor my body, my cycle, but at the same time, whilst knowing this, I know that I'm creating a beautiful, sacred sharing circle for all of us here, and the truth will always come out, and it always prevails. So in this meditation, may we really dig deep into the truth of what needs to come out, what needs to be realized, and what needs to be experienced. And I heard all your shares, and I'm really thankful for that. So let's dive deep into meditation, and let's share your intention. Who wants to be next? Okay, so Desiree's, her intention is to feel more grounded and gain clarity around her purpose. Thank you. All right. You can share, you can speak, or if you put a thumbs up, that means you're ready too. Nick is ready. Stephanie's ready. Thank you. Catherine, are you good to go? All right. Okay. So again, I'd just like you to listen to the music. If you do feel like moving because there's some music that's gonna be upbeat, please move. You know, allow yourself to dance, honor your body. If the music kind of slow and you want to just relax and enjoy it, just allow any sensations that will come up in your body. I'll be working here. At times I'll be quiet, at times I'll be speaking, but I'll do the energetic healing here in the background, feeling all of you and sending you the beautiful life force energy that you can feel around your body, that energy that we all love to experience. So yeah, let's begin by closing your eyes, gently your eyes. So if you're sitting down, just make sure that your feet's planted flat onto the ground, your back straight, your neck is straight, so the energy can flow around you. There's no obstructions along the way. If you feel like standing up later, just make sure that you have the space to move around as well, if that's your intention. If you feel, I just want you to be safe. All right, so let's take 3 cleansing breaths. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth, letting go of the heaviness. Breathing in through the nose, breathing in the fresh air all the way up, and exhaling out through the mouth while you're relaxing your body. Breathing in fresh air, feeling the cool air through your nose all the way up, and exhaling down, softening to the exhalation. Now you may continue breathing slowly, and while you do so, you can feel that your body is getting more and more relaxed. Breathing slowly, feeling into your body. You may place your one hand in your heart, noticing your body. Allowing what's coming up for you. You may want to sway from side to side, just feeling where you could be holding tension in your body. Allowing your breath to slow down. And in this moment, I just want you to focus on your third eye. Connecting to your intention and also your purpose. Connecting to your why. You may want to ask yourself, what's really important for you? What really matters for you? What is it that you love to do every day? Always wanting to come back to. Just see what's coming up. Feeling into the heart. What are you excited about? What makes living so enjoyable? What is true in your heart? If it feels light, that is your purpose. If it feels true for you, because you feel it in your heart, and it's not just something that you want to get external validation, then you have your answer. Breathing through that answer, what brings you joy, peace, what makes you connect to your heart. Hold that, hold that thought, and really feel that in your body. You may also want to feel, how does that feel in your shoulders? How does that feel in your heart? How does that feel in your stomach area? In your sacral? This is the area of our creation. And how does it feel in your base chakra? aligning all the chakras from the base to the crown, your head. If that's feeling light for you, then you have your answer. Just allow your intuition to speak to you, to give you more information. And the more you do, the more you're aligning to your true essence. The more you're aligning to the statements that are true. Because the heart knows. And for all the statements that are not true, you may now release them. Say goodbye to them. You no longer need them. And if it shows up, you may just gently acknowledge that and put it on the side. Because now you know what's true and what's not true. So just giving thanks to your mind, your mental clarity, that you're able to distinguish the two apart. And you're feeling okay about it. You're feeling good about it. That it's now time to release and let go what no longer serves you. It is a transition, and we honor that. So we allow space. We give space. When we let go, we create more space. So allow letting go so you can create more space, limitless space. Just imagine the galaxy, the stars, the cosmos. It's limitless. You too can have that much space. There's no limit. With a clear mind and a pure intention, you can do it. So inhaling the good air, positive air. Inhaling the new and releasing the old. Inhaling the new and the fresh, brand new things to come, and exhaling the old stagnant energies. Sending them away with love and consciousness to the field, and thanking them, because today you realize that you have learned from them. You have learned that you no longer need that, and in the future and more generations to pass on, you will not carry it anymore. So today is also an invitation for you to break away from those cycles. If you feel like moving, feeling like eradicating all the clutter, the chatter, do that. All of these can be symbols. All of these can have meaning of actually putting our body into that action of moving, cutting, eradicating, cleansing, purifying our bodies, our mind, our heart, our energy centers, our auric field. Just let them go together with the music. It's actually cleansing you, eradicating all that's not necessary anymore. Everything that's running that does not do any good, let them go. Let them go. The overactive mind, let them go. Feeling of burnt out, let them go. Feeling of mistrust, let them go. All the feelings of overwhelm, let them go, shake them out, shake it out. You may also do a physical dance in your mind in this meditation, just allowing them to all go. And see what comes up for you. Feeling the sensations in your body, letting them go, blessing them away. And while they're going, you're feeling lighter and lighter. And on the areas of your body that you were feeling tight, it's getting looser. It's feeling more comfortable. The tightness is gone and it's becoming more softer. You're softening, but you're also focusing on eradicating, overcoming all these things we wanted to let go of. Just allow them, and I give you room to let them go. Giving you the power and the energy, the courage, the empowerment, the competence, the energy, and the strength to release all of them. And saying thanks to them because you have learned. And it's a lesson for many of us. It's a wonderful lesson which gives us more clarity because we can see our path. We're being directed by letting go. going, how far you want to go, how deep do you want to go. It's connecting to your heart. Connecting to the messages. Connecting right now. Really feeling the music, grounding our body. Sealing that beautiful energy around you, around your auric field. Let's take a deep breath through the nose and exhaling out. Really being present in our body, allowing the feelings to be felt. Allow the feelings of love, the feeling of forgiveness, acceptance, feeling at peace and calm, and putting the intention of being unshakable, feeling feeling our feet on the ground, feeling that we are strong and we always have ourselves. And whenever the negative thoughts come in, we know the truth and we can challenge those thoughts away. You may want to put your head looking at your heart. Thinking of really placing that intention and also the learnings that you have gotten today. You're taking them in. You may want to clear your forehead, which is your third eye, your head, sealing your whole energy field. Just really feeling that in your body now. Embodying. So for tonight, when we close our eyes, we know we're gonna have a peaceful sleep. And when we wake up, we hold that intention in our heart. We'll always feel the brand new day. And really enjoying this moment. And being kind to ourselves, that this is a practice, it's a habit that we'd like to instill in our daily lives. So keep opening that heart, keep trusting the voice of your intuition. And also releasing the statements that are not true. Feeling the sensations, feeling your solar plexus. That works hard for you for processing emotions, so just feel that. And also feeling our sacral chakra that holds all the emotions. Just softening to the moment. For every breath we are allowing, for every breath we are creating more space. And for every breath we are feeling lighter. For every breath we are getting grounded. For every breath, we see the vision, our direction, our path. And for every breath, there is light and hope. And for every breath, we inhale in the new energy that will bring us forward to the destination, which is our home, our true essence, in alignment with our truth, in alignment with flow, ease, and grace. And when you're ready, let's come back to our bodies. Gently move your toes, your hands, and you may slowly open your eyes and look at the person in front of the screen. Welcome back. How was it? You may unmute yourself if you want to share. Or it's okay to be silent too if you feel like keeping it to yourself. That's good too. You can share it in a Facebook group, what you found in the meditation.
No, I thought that was lovely. Thank you for that, Joy. Yeah, really good to zonk out a little bit and recharge the body, mind, the essence. Yeah, I really enjoy the exercises and making time and being in that space and letting everything just go for a bit. Really enjoy my thoughts and actions and how we need to just. I think Catherine said, I love the word she used, the compartmentalize, or I really love that part. Yeah. So much said. I got all notes and I look forward to seeing it again and engaging with it and that consciousness. Yeah, I think it's really, really good. Thank you for that. And is there a part where we can be practical or like, oh yeah, I did try to work this one out and like I'll go back to my sleepy one. Oh, okay. So what have I done about my sleeping? Have I given myself time to analyze it, be practical about it? That's nice. Work on that one a bit.
Yes. You're welcome, Nick. Yes. So, yeah, because it's self-awareness, like knowing your patterns, right?
Yeah.
And your sleep time and your waking up time. So just watch it and you'll see a pattern and honor it and work within your cycle, not against your cycle, not against it. Just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean it's for you.
Yeah. I just have to stop thinking I need to be else and doing so much. I just need to be, if I need to get a pattern running, that cycle, if I need to create a new thing, I need to say, well, I don't need to do anything. I need to be here. I need to be in the bed. Whether I've got my eyes just close things down. The eyes are the ones that are really, we use that a lot. See, we all look at each other. It's so simple. This is the little things that, they're so valuable to us. We got them. Gratefulness. I love the waters experiment with Dr. So I a little bit. yeah, the way we talk to each other, be talking to each other ourselves gently, not aggressively, and sometimes you have to know who you're with too, your relatives and how they talking to us. They got their ego trip, they're in their ego, but sometimes you have to walk away, and if you can't silence that, walk away from it. It's because we don't that polluting our minds and creating more clutter. There's enough clutter as it is, consistently being cluttered. Yeah, that was nice to witness again, that little experiment there. But yeah,
Absolutely.
these little things, they work so much for us. So if you can just give them, eye pillow, give them a little rest. We got that. Thank you for that opportunity to sit back and listen to you and beautiful sounds and just drift off somewhere wonderful.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Nick. Thank you. Thank you for all your contribution. Stephanie and Catherine, did you want to say something? How was the meditation for you? How'd you feel? Any epiphanies? Any messages?
Um, uh, felt lighter because it's like I shut down my brain. I felt my mind. I felt like the pressure slowly coming up, easing up, and then just until it's like blackness. It's like like turning off the lights, all the lights off, and it's like at least a little bit of like silence. So like I did, like just following what you say, just releasing everything out,
Yeah.
and I did that. So I felt that
Yeah.
it's not. I don't feel like my head's always about to explode anymore because of like I need to mute them, like mentally mute them. Sometimes I told my friends yesterday, like there's an ongoing argument in my head, but I don't know who's winning, but I choose to ignore them right now. So I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
But now like I just have to learn to like okay, get get uh stop that conversation before it runs it goes it takes me with it. So I have to like learn to, like I said, shut down the conversation so
Yes.
the pressure would stop building up.
Yeah. Yes. I get you with that as well. Yes.
Yeah.
We can talk more about that topic, how to have clear boundaries, because that's also in relation to the chakras, but also the mind. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
more tomorrow.
Yeah.
Slowly, step by step. Thank you, Catherine. And if you have any questions, you may ask. This is open now for questions as well.
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you. And Stephanie, you good?
Yeah, I feel great. I feel peaceful. I just feel full of happiness. I'm just calm and I feel really great.
All right. I've got a question for each one of you. And which part of the body, because I did work on you, on the three of you, which part of it, did you feel any sensations in your body?
I did in my lower back.
For me, it was my third eye area. I felt that lit up a bit, so that was nice to have that energy there, that sensation.
Catherine?
So,
Yeah, I mean, I felt like actually it's like I felt the energy all over. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like more like kind of like electricity running through me
Yeah. Well,
because I know,
that's your life force energy.
yeah,
And I did work on you on your here.
yeah. So that's how I felt like the pressure slowly coming. I mean, like my head feels lighter now too.
And you open your eyes when you felt it.
Yeah,
I saw you. And yes, it's true. I did work on your um, crown chakra, Nick. And Stephanie, I was working on all your body here in the back, like this. And Catherine as well. So it's interesting how you can feel even in on the Zoom.
Hmm.
Because if you were with me in person, I would be like touching, physical like light touches, activation. but the activation works the same in Zoom, I find. Yeah. So thank you for being here again today. And we have our final assignment. I can share screen here, or if you want, I can just post it into the group chat. Do you want me to show it here?
Yeah, doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Does anyone need to go? Okay, I'll share it quickly.
Okay.
So the next homework assignment is, again, it's gonna be just 10 minutes, and it will be around, okay, it's around breaking down the to-do list. So the focus and the future. Okay, so focus we put on top, we break it down what's the most important to the least important. And then the future, things you need to do tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 12 months. Okay, and then write 3 things that you would implement today, which means tomorrow. Start changing already, like what you've learned. And I'll post this out. And also, what was your biggest takeaway today? You may also share that on the Facebook chat. And think of some question that you really want to ask me, or we can do that in the one-on-one, or whatever healing you may want to do. We can do that over Zoom after the 3-day challenge. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll be dropping a link for you to book for your one-on-one. Yeah, so you can have a chakra assessment or any questions you may want to have, which can be part of my content as well, because that will help me and help other people too, because all your questions are gold. And I do appreciate when you ask questions. And there's no stupid questions, there's no silly questions, all questions are important. They're all valid. And if you are feeling it, another person may be feeling it as well. And you're helping someone by asking those questions. All right, so we'll end it here. If you are all complete, put a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful day, have a beautiful night.
Thank you.
Protect your energy, and I'll say goodbye and see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.